Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this ASUS GU502L. Alright, let me see if there's some more. GU502LW-BI7N6. Alright, so I don't know if there's another special number, but this is a Republic of Gamers laptop. It's a ROG Zephyrus, Zephrus. Alright, I don't know the exact model name, but anyways, we're going to use a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, you want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like this on my desk in the pattern I remove them. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove them all. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and remove them all. Keep them all in the pattern again. Alright, sometimes the screws might look the same, but they might be slightly different, so it's always a good idea to try and keep them in order the best you can. Alright, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Oh, my camera thing that lets me see what I'm recording is kind of all glitchy and jittery. I might have to reset it, but anyways, let's go ahead and continue doing this. These ones that are kind of going like that, I just put them in a row, so that way I have a little bit more room on my desk. Whatever works for you, as long as you can remember where the screws came from. Right, so far these screws appear to be the same length. So if you did happen to mix them up, it might be okay. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue getting all these out. So the customer told me that their screen isn't turning on. It works with an external monitor. So we're going to try and check the screen connection, and hopefully it's just a loose connection or something like that. All right. All right. So this screw looks like it holds itself in place. And this is by design, most likely, to give you a room to get into this area here. So let me see if I can show you how we pop this open. So we're going to open up the screen. Okay, since we have this gap, I'm going to get my fingernails in here. You can use plastic pry tools. And then I'm going to push with my thumb on the palm rest and pull with my fingers back here. Okay, so like this. Let's see if that will pop it out. If it doesn't work, we're going to have to go from the other side, which it looks like we might have to. So since we have this gap here, it looks like we'll get under this here. Let's see if we can pop it up a little bit more. Okay, so we can pop that up. And then what you do is you get in this gap, and we're going to slide a plastic pry tool, or in this case my fingernail, down the side. You can see this part popped up. Right, we're going to continue working our way along the edges. Okay, so we might have to actually go back here. You see this? Okay, we're going to continue working our way down. It looks like you want to get a tool under there and then pull this back. So sorry, my hand's gonna get in the way, I think, but there you go. So I'm using my thumb in this gap to push and then get it that way. All right, there we go. And let's see if we can lift it up, and there we go. So there we go. That's what it looks like inside. Not too bad. There's some, what is that? Okay, I don't know what this is. That thermal paste or paint that came off? Okay, anyways, we're gonna clean this up a little bit and then we'll be back. All right, first thing we're gonna do, just to be safe, is to disconnect the battery connector here. So let me zoom in here and show you this. Man, it's too jittery. I might have to fix that. All right, anyways, you slide this forward, okay, just like that. Once you slide that metal bracket forward, make sure it's pushed back on both sides, okay? Then you can get underneath here and you can pop up this connector, all right, just like this. And there we go, the battery is disconnected. The battery model number, if you need it, is right here. C41N1837. Okay, anyways, let me go clean this out real quick and I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and see here. All right, so we disconnected the battery and then cleaned it out a bit. It looks like there might have been liquid damage or something in here if you look at the residue on there. Okay, I don't know why my camera is still being jittery. I probably should have reset the Chromecast or something. I did reset the Wi-Fi to it, but it didn't work. Alright, anyways, after disconnecting the battery, we're going to press and hold the power button about 15 seconds. This will drain any residual power and make it a lot safer to work on. Alright, doesn't take long to do, only 15 seconds, and saves you from any potential larger damage down the line. So yep, spend that time, save several $100s potentially. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and take a look in here. Wireless card appears to be soldered to the motherboard. There is a SSD here. It looks like an M.2 PCIe NVMe. Let's go ahead and see about removing that. One screw using the PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. Okay, comes out. Usually comes up, yep, at an angle like this. Alright, let me zoom in a bit more. Okay, so it comes up slightly at an angle, and it looks like the sleeve is going to come off separately, but we're going to pull this off. Okay, so here you go. So the sleeve comes off, and I guess the SSD comes out like this. So this is an Intel SSD. We're going to get this back in. Alright, and we'll just put this back. There's a thermal pad here. Here you can see the slot supports PCIe and SATA SSDs. Alright, the SSD, it's hard to see, but here it goes in slightly at an angle. Okay, so I'm going to push from the back here, and it helps to kind of push both sides like this. And then once you get it clicked into place, we're going to lower it down. Okay, line it up and get that screw back in. Let me show you underneath the battery real quick. Okay, so we're going to move this over here, zoom out a tiny bit. There we go. Alright, so we got a screw here. We got 3 screws along the top, and then we got 3 screws along the bottom. So let's go ahead and remove all 6 of those screws. Again, you want to keep the screws in order. Alright, got those 3, and we'll get the 3 down here. The wireless antennas appear to be going over here. I see one here. I don't see the other one right now. Maybe that one's going into the screen. We'll see when we get these screws out. Okay, last one here. I'm getting a call, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I forgot to mute my phone's notifications. Anyways, let's go ahead and lift this up. Okay, battery comes out just like that. It's pretty clean underneath. Alright, so here you can see the wireless antenna goes like this. You got the speaker wire going here all the way underneath, plugs over here, other speaker wire running along underneath this board here onto here. Okay, and then you got the trackpad, touchpad connector here. Alright, these have little flip latches. This one is kind of, you just kind of grab it and you kind of just wiggle it and it'll eventually pop out. Keyboard connector here, also flip latch that you flip up and you can pull out. I'm going to leave that in place. If you're not sure how to remove these types of flip latches, you can watch some of my other videos and I kind of show it there. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the RAM. We just pull these 2 tabs to the side. You can see it pops up like that. And then we're going to pull this out. It looks like there's only one stick to replace. I don't know if they have one hidden underneath the motherboard. I'm not going to be removing the motherboard at this time, so I'm not sure. Usually the way I find out if I want to know for sure is I'll look on eBay for this model motherboard, and then usually I can find a picture of the other side. Alright, anyways, here's the RAM, PC4, right, 3200 AA. So you should be able to use any PC4 3200 AA. One way you can somewhat know if there's another stick of RAM on the bottom, if it's 16 gigs and there's only an 8 gig stick in there, then there might be another 8 gig stick, but there could also just be soldered RAM that you can't upgrade. So it's always a good idea to check for the part online. Alright, anyways, we're going to put this back. Again, you can put any PC4 3200 AA RAM. So if you find a 16 gig stick, you can put that. Alright, I believe this cable back here, this small one, is likely for the power button switch. There's a little flip latch for that, and you can pop it out, but I'm going to leave that there. Alright, here we got this PCIe M.2 SSD right here. Alright, it's nice. They provide a screw here, so if you want to add another SSD, you can. Alright, we got this connector here. It looks like it's in place, so I don't think it's going to be loose on this side. So we're going to have to check the screen side. But let me see. We're going to open this up a little bit. And see, can I pull this a little? Nah, it doesn't move anywhere. But maybe let's go ahead and try and disconnect it just to see. So the way I disconnect these kinds of connectors again, when they have these wings like this, I try and get my fingernails on the wings, and I kind of just use it to wiggle and pull it back, just like that, as you can see. And there we go. Then we're going to go ahead and put this back in, just line it back up, make sure everything is lined up right. Okay, and then we're going to use the wings with our fingernails and pull that back in. Okay, all right. If you don't have fingernails, I mean, do your best, or you can wait till your fingernails grow out. Okay, so I don't see much else in here. Let's zoom out again. There we go. We're going to get this back in. All right, there we go. Get this in, and then, oops, let's zoom in here again. All right, we're going to push this down. Click that. Oh, actually, let's disconnect this because I want to check the other side of the screen. Actually, let's see if anything changed when we go and try and turn it on. So we'll slide that back down. All right, and let's go ahead and power it up, but you want to be careful. Okay, so I'm going to power it up and see if anything changes. Usually because we disconnected the battery, I don't know if you can't see it. Okay, the keyboard keeps turning itself back on and off, and that's because it's trying to reset the BIOS. Okay, so I'm pressing F2 just in case. All right, in case it actually boots, I want it to go to BIOS, not into Windows. But as you can see, oh, I just saw it flash a little bit. I saw it flicker, but nothing happened after that, so we're probably going to have to turn this off. It looks like it didn't do anything. So I did see the screen like flicker for a tiny bit, and then now it's completely dead. So we'll see. Hopefully it's a loose connection and not a broken screen. But again, we won't know for sure until we get this going. So I'm going to shut this off. Okay. All right, I think it's still trying to boot. So let me actually put the screws in. I'm going to plug it into a monitor, make sure to shut it down properly. I'm going to just put in like a screw on each, the top and the bottom. So I'll put one screw here and one screw at the bottom. All right. There we go, and I'll be back. All right, I'm going to plug this into the monitor and make sure to shut it down properly. Then we're going to disconnect the battery, open it up, press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds again, and we'll pull the frame of the screen out and see what we find. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So let's go ahead and disconnect the battery again. Again, slide that metal latch up, pull this thing out. We're going to open it up again and press and hold the power button 15 seconds. Again, this is very important. You don't want to skip this part. It only takes 15 seconds and can save you like hundreds or thousands of dollars in damage to your computer. All right, so just do it. If you want, you can hold it even longer, all right, just to be 100% sure, but it's very important, okay? All right, let's go ahead and close this up. We're gonna actually put the screws back in the battery because we don't have to physically pop the battery out. So I'm gonna put them back just so we don't have to worry about loose screws anymore. Sorry about it wobbling everywhere. Okay, let's go ahead and get that. There we go. All right, once we got that, we're gonna attempt to pop the screen frame out. Again, we're gonna leave the battery disconnected because that's very important since we're gonna be messing with the screen connection. All right, I'm kind of doubting that this is going to be the issue, but we might as well give it a chance because it can potentially be a somewhat cheap fix. Let's go ahead and zoom out. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna pop this frame out. So I pull this forward slightly. Okay, as you can see, it comes out. And then I also pull it in towards the center. Okay, so just like this, and we're gonna continue going all the way around and to the sides. I'm surprised, does this laptop not have a camera in it? That's surprising. I've never seen a laptop in this day and age without a camera. All right, anyways, we're gonna do the same thing with this one. Pull up from the part closest to the screen and pull it in towards the center, just like this. You can see this bezel is coming out pretty nicely. I don't know if somebody opened this before. If they didn't, then I really like this design because They don't need to put crazy adhesives on it. Let me see if I regret that, and this part might end up with adhesive. Let's see. And so far, no. Okay, we're going to continue pulling here. So we're somewhat going to do the same thing. Okay, continue pulling. There we go. Just like this. And there we go. So it feels like there is some adhesive here, as you can see on the back of the screen. There's some adhesive going along here, but the adhesive isn't super aggressive, so that's nice. Again, I don't know if somebody changed the screen before or not. Most likely not, because they have these stretch release tabs. Okay, this adhesive, oh man, it's okay, it might be annoying. Let's see here. So this kind of adhesive, you kind of want to pull straight down along with the screen. So let me see if I can show this. I'm going to try. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to use a tool. You can use tweezers or something just to get underneath this piece. Let's see if I can get it with this. Okay, so we're going to get under here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pull this straight down. If you can't pull it straight down, what you do is you can use your other finger to kind of help pull it down, and then you pull this one away. So you can't pull the entire thing straight down because of the keyboard getting in the way. So basically you pull this slightly towards yourself, and then you use your other finger to help pull it down, and you just continue pull down, pull out, pull down, pull out. All right, and if you do it fast, you just keep going like this, and or you can like use two fingers, but we're just going to do this. Okay, so this is how you remove this adhesive. It's kind of annoying. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to keep holding this. Now what I do to make it easier is I kind of move my other hand to let go like that. So while this is still stretched, I'll grab all the way up here, and then we'll let this release, and we'll continue doing the same thing. All right. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab with this hand because this one I'm better at pulling. It doesn't matter. If you're left-handed or right-handed, then you can switch whatever's more comfortable to you. I'm left-handed, so this makes it easier for me. All right, so we're going to do that. Same thing. We're going to grab over here, let that go back, grab over here, and then continue the process of pulling this down, okay? And you can see this adhesive is very long. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, continue. And you want to be careful not to let this adhesive wrap over on itself. If it does, then you're not going to be able to reuse it. And then you're going to have to use some other kind of double stick adhesive. If you do use some other type of double stick adhesive, you want to keep in mind that you don't want to put too much of the adhesive, because it's going to be really hard to get the screen out in the future if you do that. Uh-oh, this stuck together. Hopefully it will. There we go, it's separated. Okay, most of the times if the adhesive sticks together, you're going to lose it, so you want to be very careful. All right, we're going to do the same thing on this side, but give me a second. I need to check my messages on my phone, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So we're going to continue doing the same thing with this side. All right, lift up the adhesive tab, pull it back, whatever works for you. You can use either hand, and then we're going to pull this way again, straight down. Okay, this feels awkward to me, so I'm going to switch back to my left hand doing that, pulling, and doing my right hand to pull it down, just like this. All right, then we're going to grab closer again to here, let this go back, grab here, and same, continue pulling like this. All right, and you want to be careful not to pull too hard backwards, because you don't want to make the screen just fly out, okay? All right, and we're going to continue. Okay, here you can see all the adhesive is slowly coming out, and we're just going to keep continue doing that. Okay. All right. Okay, so you can see the screen kind of just fell on its own now, and we're going to be careful. We're going to stick this up out of the way again, like the other one. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to let the screen fall forward, and we're going to double check this connection here. We might be out of luck because this connection here has a latch. Let me show you. So the chance of this coming loose is probably like 0. Anyways, we're going to flip this latch up. We never know. Okay. And this is kind of an interesting kind of latch. You can see it's this whole metal flap. Let's see if we can pull this connector out now. And there we go. So it comes out just like that. We're going to now try and reconnect it and hope something was loose, though it didn't look loose. So I'm kind of doubting that's going to be the case. All right, so let's go ahead and get this all lined up again. I like to use the metal tab to help align it. Then let's go ahead and slide back in time, slide it back in place, sorry. All right, there we go. Slid back in and latch that back down. Then we're gonna flip this back up. Let me zoom up. Okay, and what we're gonna do now, we're gonna stick these adhesive strips back in here, okay? It might be hard for me to show this. Let's see, can I do it diagonal like this? Okay, so we're gonna get the adhesive here, and you're gonna get this little tab back into place down there like it was before. Okay, hold that in place, and then we're just gonna line this up and stick it back down. All right, stick that in, and you don't really have to push it all back down, but if you want, you can get something and just poke at it to kind of try and get it to stick a little. Okay, you can see it kind of wobbles a little, but that's okay. All right, so yes, I'm using a popsicle stick for this. You can also use that plastic tool I used earlier, whatever works for you. All right, we're gonna do the same thing with this side. Let's get the adhesive in here. All right, same thing, get that lined up. Also, because we stretch the adhesive, there's a chance that it might not sit completely flat, or it might be too long. If that's the case, you can cut it. You don't have to. If it fits along inside the frame, then you should be fine. Right here you can see this kind of sticks to the adhesive more, so it's a little bit harder to use than the popsicle stick, but okay, so there we go. You don't have to make it perfectly along the black strip there, but if you can, that'll be best. Right, next what we're going to do, I'm going to hold on to the screen here with my thumb. We're going to flip it over so that it's resting on the back. Let me zoom out here. Okay, so I'm holding it up. Now we're going to slowly let the screen fall back. I'm going to hold on to both sides so it doesn't fall onto the adhesive. And then you want to try and get the top edges into as high of a corner as possible. Okay, so you want to try and make sure it goes up into the corners. And there we go. Then you can go ahead and somewhat push it down to get it stuck in place. We're going to close this up. We're going to go ahead and reconnect the battery. Okay, let's go ahead and slide this latch back down. All right, and now we're going to test our luck. I don't think it's going to fix it, but we'll find out. I don't know if it's the cable. I don't know if it's the screen. Most likely, it's more likely the screen than the cable, because this design seems to be very sturdy. Okay, but yeah, let's go ahead and power it up and see if anything changes. So we push the power button. As you can see, the light's on, the keyboard's lighting up. So far, nothing's on the screen. It's flashing on and off because we did disconnect the battery. So basically the BIOS or CMOS is reset. And once I see the hard drive light down here start blinking, then I know it should be showing something on the screen. So far, it's still starting up. You can see the light's still on. It's likely going to reset one more time. Oh, I saw the light flash once, and I heard the ROG sound. So it sounds like the screen is actually, either the screen's dead or the, yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot to show is what, I should have done that. I'm going to have to shut this down. I'm going to check what the screen model number is, and I'll be back because I want to find out what this screen costs to replace if we do have to replace that. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I'm back. Anyways, I shut it back down. This time I'm just going to leave the battery in because we're not messing with the cable. And I'm just going to quickly pull the adhesive back out, okay? All right, just like before. It might be a bit easier now because we released it once. So let's go ahead and just continue peeling this thing back. All right, it's much easier to remove now, but still you want to be careful. Don't go too fast because you don't want it to sling the adhesive out and then end up sticking all together. Okay, so you want to be careful. Okay, you can see it's released now. Okay, we'll get this out of the way. And let's go ahead and get the other side. Sorry I didn't show this earlier or mention the screen model earlier. I didn't think about it. My brain was just thinking, let's see if this works. And I messed up, and now I got to do the work again, second time. Okay. All right, again, you want to be careful because as you pull this second strip of adhesive out, once it releases, the screen will just release and fall down. Okay. So you do want to be very careful. Okay, there you go. And now the adhesive is kind of just sticking up this way. So we're going to let this fall down. Okay, well, let's release this one. There we go. Oops, sorry. All right, so screen model number. Here you go. Okay, so there you go. LQ156M1JW09. So that's the screen model number. If you need any of these other numbers, I don't know what they're for. I just use that LQ156M1JW09. That's the screen model number. And then there's this if you need that cable. Hopefully you can actually read it. All right. I can't read it. It's too blurry for me. My vision's not 100% 20/20, but it's not completely bad. So anyways, yeah, I don't really wear my glasses often. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the screen back into place. I mean, you know the drill. We're just going to put the adhesive strips back into place. Okay. And then I'm going to have to see what the customer wants to do. I'm going to check what a replacement screen costs, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it's not a motherboard issue. I mean, it does work with an external monitor, so their computer's not completely useless or anything. So it's really up to them if they want to fix it or not. So let's go ahead and stick this stuff back down. This is kind of like curving all over the place. So if you want, you can try and line it back up and stick it down. All right, and do the same thing over here again. Sorry, I know I'm not showing as nice as before, but trying to just get this back. You saw it the first time, so hopefully you got it already. Okay, there we go. Let's stick this side in first. All right, there we go. All right, so we got that back in. Same thing, we're gonna flip the thing back over, get the screen back in. Okay. Slowly, carefully flip this back over. Again, get the corner in. Okay, try and get it centered if you can. And there we go. Drop it back in, push it back down. All right, sorry, I know it's not zoomed out enough. Let's go ahead and get the bezel back in. Let's see if I can fix the camera so it's a bit more centered for you guys. All right. So this bezel is pretty nice. It goes in pretty easily. We're going to actually line up the bottom first. Okay, not that it matters. Then we can go ahead and push the top corner in. Okay. And we're going to slightly go down. Basically what I'm doing is I'm pushing the outer edge in. Okay. And that way the middle can kind of flop up for the hooks to latch back in. Okay, we'll go across the top. There we go. All right, we're gonna rotate this over. All right, now that we got that, we're gonna go ahead and make sure the bottom is latched in properly. Okay, you might have to pull it up slightly. And then we're gonna keep one hand on the back and then work our way over to the right. Okay. And we're pushing at the bottom first, all right? And the top has an adhesive, so you don't need to worry about that as much. All right, once you get all of that clicked in, you can put it on your desk side again and then make sure it's all clicked, and then just do that to make sure it sticks back down. All right, sometimes the adhesive won't stick, don't worry about it. But if the gap here kind of annoys you, you can put some new double stick adhesive there. All right, we're gonna close this. Excuse me. All right, now we're just gonna put the bottom cover back on. I'm gonna have to see what the customer wants to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just line it back up. We're gonna get the bottom in first. Again, this corner has the screw there, and that holds itself up, so don't worry about clipping that in yet. We're just gonna go along, and this one kind of lines up and snaps in nicely. We're gonna get the bottom corner screw back in. Okay, and then we just got to get all the rest of the screws in. And that's pretty much all there is to this model. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like and subscribe and share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. Helped you save a bunch of money. Please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, you're welcome to stay as I put back all the screws. But other than that, that's all there is to it. Alright. So just get all these back in. Alright. Okay, easy peasy. Alright. Go. This one. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.